All right, Morgan joins us now first in the morning with entertainment and some really exciting news this morning for James Bond fans, Morgan.
This is huge news. Denis Villeneuve, our Canadian director, is going to be directing the next James Bond movie.
What?
Huge
That's
deal.
awesome.
There's so much interest. I think people are fascinated how this is all going to play out because, of course, in February is announced that Amazon Studios was taking control over the Bond franchise after longtime producers had been, heading this up for years. So not only are people curious to see what Amazon Studios is going to do with it, but now you bring somebody on like Denis Villeneuve, who is known for, the past 2 Dune films, Prisoners, one of my favorite all-time movies. It was so stressful, but he's known for being incredibly creative. He's a visionary director. So people are curious. I posted this on social media, and people are like, well, I don't know. When you have a Bond franchise, a almost 70-year franchise that people know and love, studios like to control. They don't want the legacy to be tarnished. And when you have a visionary director like Denis Villeneuve, who is very outside the box, people are like, is he going to have control? How's this all going to play out? But people are excited. Don't get me wrong. They're just like, how is this going to work?
But the franchise was refreshed, of course, when Daniel Craig came aboard, right? And maybe now with Amazon taking over, this is an opportunity for somebody that's got a different vision like Denis.
Absolutely. Yeah. And if you think about it, one of my favorite movies with Daniel Craig is Skyfall. And Sam Mendes, who is an Oscar-winning director, he directed numerous films with Daniel Craig, and I would never have thought he would be the guy to come into a Bond franchise. So to see Denis Villeneuve actually makes a lot of sense. They're just continuing kind of that dark, grittier version. Now, of course, we do not know who's playing Bond yet.
Thank you. That is the big question everyone's asking.
I know, and this is what I wanted to know too. Yes. I've always seen so many front runners. So far, this is the newest update. Nothing's been confirmed, but Aaron Taylor Johnson is a big front runner. On the left there, he's the one whose name I have seen for the past 2 years now. And then on the right, that's James Norton. I really like him as an actor. So far, but of course, we have no idea. We're not going to see this movie for quite some time. Denis Villeneuve is directing Dune Messiah this summer. He's working on a Cleopatra movie, another film. So this is going to take some time.
Okay.
But I'm so excited.
Okay. We were just talking about Jeff Bezos' wedding in Italy and that Katy Perry's on the guest list. Were you saying Orlando?
And so is Orlando Bloom, but we've got an update on their marriage.
We do. If you've been watching the show every day, especially the past couple of weeks, we've been talking about rumors swirling that there's trouble in paradise for Orlando Bloom and Katy Perry, especially with Orlando Bloom showing up to Jeff Bezos' wedding without her, even though she's on her Lifetime's tour. But sources are saying, and this is being reported everywhere, so this must be a pretty legitimate source, they're saying they have split. Of course, they have been linked since 2016. They got engaged in 2019 and had their daughter Daisy in 2020. So they have a 4-year-old daughter right now. She is currently on the Lifetime's tour. People are saying this has been going on for quite some time. It's a long time coming. Apparently, sources are saying they have been separated since before she even started her Lifetime's tour. But the tension around the space flight that she got a lot of backlash on, the tour she's unfortunately getting some backlash on, that just essentially was the breaking point from what sources are saying, that the tension was just too much.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see who shows up. You said we have seen Orlando show up at
the wedding. Yeah, we know that he's in Italy, and we've seen him solo. So she is on her Lifetime's tour.
Yeah.
She is, but.
Yeah, but obviously him showing up solo has furthered the story.
I think that's maybe this is why this is coming out now, because people are like, well, wait a minute.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Also on the guest list and arriving this morning for this big Bezos wedding is Kim Kardashian, and she's set to join another acting project.
Yeah, so go Kim Kardashian. If I had to ever, think that she was going to be a very popular working actress these days, I wouldn't have guessed it, but here you go. So she is going to be apparently an executive producer and playing a role in the new Bratz movie. She's apparently going to be playing the villain. And if you're kind of confused or you haven't been following along, she appeared in season 12 of American Horror Story. She did a pretty good job. I was pretty impressed with her acting ability. I know I say that like sarcastic. I just was like, wow, she's actually pretty good. Of course, we know her from her reality show, and she's this social media, superstar. But yeah, I was pretty impressed. So we're also going to see her in another Ryan Murphy series coming up. That one's called All's Fair, and that's with an incredible cast. She's leading a cast with like Glenn Close and Naomi Watts. So I'm curious to see her in that. And then I'll probably get even more excited for Bratz.
Is that where she plays a lawyer?
Yeah.
They're all lawyers?
But like, that's a huge cast, and she's the lead. So I'm excited.
Okay. Yeah. All right, we'll see. Coming up on the show today, you've got some big interviews.
Yeah, with Allison Williams. I've loved her ever since she starred in Girls. But she's back with Megan 2.0.
Are you dressing as Megan for the interview like you did for the show the other day?
I know.
No?
But I'm going to show her what I did and see if she approves of my look.
Okay.
So let's hope she's kind.
I know she will. It was great. It was so good.